In what ways does your media product use, develop or challenge forms and conventions of real media products? At the beginning of planning our documentary, we had the intention to make our media product objective. This means that the product has no personal opinion and gives a neutral representation of the subject. Most documentaries are either completely objective or completely subjective. Our documentary shows how sad it is for dogs to be abandoned, but also shows how much of a positive impact businesses like Holly Hedge and Pet Studio mean to each dog. Documentaries tend to have interviews throughout the media product. In this case, we used interviews from an employee at Holly Hedge and the owner of the Pet Studio throughout our media product. This way we have used a standard convention of documentaries. Another way we have done this is by using a combination of fact and art. We have done this by combining facts that we have found on the internet by looking at various dog care websites, and we also contacted a dog behaviourist. The art side of it is that we have combined these facts with footage of the dogs at each of the kennels, allowing the audience to make up their own minds about how they feel about the kennel environment, rescue and boarding. We have also used expert opinions to validate the points that we were making. The facts that we have found online have been backed up by the dog behaviourists we interviewed and also the people we spoke to at the local kennels. We have challenged the forms and conventions of documentaries as we have not used a narrator or voice of God. Instead, we used interviews throughout the product to create a narrative structure. As seen in Amy, the documentary, the narrative consists of interviews and no voice of God. We follow the standard conventions of documentaries by using archive footage. We selected footage from a documentary series called The Woodhouse Way, which featured a woman from the 1980s called Barbara Woodhouse. We did this to show how dog care has evolved over the years, and we combined this with newly shot footage that we filmed at Holly Hedge and the Pet Studio. Like most documentaries, we used annotation on screen to identify each interviewee, and each time a new speaker appeared, we annotated the shot with their name and their job title. We did this so the audience can easily identify each person in the media product, and again this happened in Amy so the audience could easily identify each new speaker. Another convention of real documentaries we have developed is using incidental music. This is when the music sets the tone of the footage shown on screen. For example, in Amy, sad music begins to play as her friends start talking. In our media product, we begin to use more negative music when each speaker talks about a dog being abandoned, and positive music when a dog is being rehomed or there are positive effects of being in kennels.